Welcome. So, Cynthia, Equitosi, thank you so much for joining us now. I have a question for you. In this space, in the day and age that we sit with right now, there are a lot of people who are out there in the job market and they're looking to either get a competitive advantage and or to stand out amongst the crowd. Do you have any suggestions what is something that you find quite a few people might not have?
Welcome to Shameless. Here we explore the transformative power of courage and action.
Hey everybody, my name is Dzikamai Gangaidzo and I'm your host for the Shameless podcast. And very few times we actually run across very interesting discussions. Actually, I lie. All the people that we talk about are interesting. And so today was no different. We had Equitosi out of Lagos, Nigeria. And she is the founder of an enchanting world called Digital Witch IT Support Community. And over the last 4 years, Digital Witch has become a thriving community, training over 50,000 individuals in a myriad of on-demand IT skills. As the founder, she has a passion in empowering individuals, especially job seekers or low to no income earners, so that they're able to get into a diverse range of companies, but also equip themselves with the necessary skills for that. Within her journey, she has witnessed over 80% of her trained students successfully working remotely and being able to transform not only their own lives, but to add value and support others within their lives. Beyond this world, Equitosi carries a role as a customer service manager with over 7 years of experience in the world of SaaS, providing spellbinding customer experiences married with the technical support, where she's able to solve technical enigmas and ensuring a seamless digital experience for the client. At the heart of her journey is the vision of empowerment. And as the founder of Digital Witch, she aspires to redefine the narrative of empowerment, transforming novices into masters and unlocking boundless opportunities through magical skill acquisition. I hope you really enjoy this episode, and I hope you also pay it forward like she's done. Thank you.
Okay, so based on the question you asked, I apparently think that what makes one to stand out there is the knowledge they have. Because a few years ago, I'll tell you that I'm not sure I would be where I am at the moment if not for me making that decision to invest in my personal growth. I had to, sit back, watch the trajectory my life was going, and ask myself a tough question. Are you comfortable where you are at the moment? And what do you think you can do differently to be a better person? And having come from the kind of family I came from, I got to that point, like the only thing that can make me stand out or make me be able to compete with others is if I'm able to acquire a certain level of knowledge, and I had to start planning on how to invest in this knowledge. And having done this like 4 years ago, I'm proud to tell myself that I've really done well for myself, and I'm currently where I have always wanted to be, even though I still feel like this is just a starting point. So if one intends being ahead or being able to be out there, I feel one of the first steps you should take is telling yourself the hard truth. Forget about what every other person is saying about you. You are the one that have the key to give yourself the best advice. You know who you are, and that should be able to make you come up with that decision to invest in your personal growth. And once you start that part of personal investment, I believe that should lead you to that part that you really want to get to.
You witnessed about 80% of your trained students successfully working remotely, and this is a testament to the transformative power of the enchanting journey. That's a huge number of people that you're trained.
Yeah, we have actually trained a huge number of people, and it's funny that we started the community with just less than 40 students. And when I started the community, apparently my target was to train just women. But after the first section, the men were like, "Oh, you want to do something like this, and you want to remove us from the picture? Don't you think that we also need to work remotely, or don't you think we need the skills?" And that was how we started allowing allowing men to join the training. And the second section, I think we had 40 plus students. And the third, we had up to 60. And having had the 60, I think from 60, we started having 100, 200, 300. And the same year, we had more than 1,000 students. We had 1,500 students in the same year before the end of 2021, which was when we started the training. And since then, it has always been within this number every other month. And some months we get to have 2,000 plus students, 250 students in a month. And so far, I would rather say that our focus is the no-income earners, stay-at-home moms, students, corpers, that is newly graduated students that are seeking for a job, and those that probably feel like where they are at the moment, they are not doing well and they would want to do better. And if you're also looking for a side hustle that will probably turn out to become your real hustle, then apart from the making money as part of the whole business, I feel individuals should also acquire some diverse skills, because we are going away from that, should I say, analog age. Everything is digitalized, everything can be accessed online. And I feel if you don't have the skills, it's going to be very difficult for you to compete out there. And the fact that we teach skills, we also go out of our way to teach you how to, optimize the skills you are learning from us and use this to get jobs online. You should be able to work, because the end goal is that you should be able to work remotely. You should be able to earn in dollars. And even if you're not working remotely, you should be able to get a physical job within Nigeria where you can also be able to build your experience. And so far, there is no single day nobody is getting job in our community. Every single day people are getting job. Just today alone, I know the number of people that got job in our community. So it's a continuous process and also success. And I also try to make it clear that one thing about learning is that you have to continuously learn something new. You need to be consistent, even if you are not getting the expected results, which is getting jobs. One thing is, as long as you are very proactive, you are consistent, job will come in due time. And like you said, at the moment we are actually heading towards 50K students.
So that's like literally 20,000 students between the 2 years of the 1 year. And that's an absolutely amazing feat. So I have a question. So you talk about this passion, this desire that you have in order to be able to empower and transform and unlock the skills and potential within people. Where does this come from?
Okay, so, one thing is, I know I came from a family of 8 children, and I'm the first child. And having been the first child, my family is not that well to do, and I lost my dad immediately after my university, and that kind of affected a lot of things, a lot of my plans. I wanted to go back to school for my master's, but I couldn't do that because I need to support my mom, and not just my mom, my younger ones, because in my own part of the world, if you are coming from my kind of family and you happen to be the only one who was opportune to be educated, unconsciously, when things like that happen, you just see yourself being like paying the price, because you not helping out, the society will get to see like you are selfish or you are mean. And apart from the societal norm, I'm also very close to my dad. I felt like the only way I can pay him back for what he did for me was to take care of my younger ones. And having to do that, I have to forgo going back to school and focus on working. So when I was working, I was watching a reality show on the YouTube, and I came across cloud computing. Someone was taking cloud computing, and that was my first experience with IT. I had to subscribe to the guy's YouTube channel, and any day I come to work, I watch the channel. I did this for like 6 months, and after some time, I started feeling bored with my job. One, it wasn't paying well. Secondly, I feel like I was underutilized. I come to work every day, sit in the office, do nothing, just watch my YouTube. And I feel like, no, I can actually be more productive. And I reached out to my friend who works as a recruiter, told him my newly acquired skills, and luckily for me, it was as if God was preparing me for that moment, because immediately I reached out to him, he told me that there is a company coming to Nigeria and they are recruiting for the company, and the company works for Microsoft. And funnily enough, I was learning cloud computing, and the cloud computing the platform I was learning was Azure, which is owned by Microsoft. And that was the company coming into Nigeria. And I was like, wow. So I went for the interview with more than 300 persons, and I happened to be among those selected. And that was how my journey into the IT started.
Hold on. I've got to ask you, just before you go further. So you learned cloud computing through YouTube. Is that what you say?
And I didn't have a laptop. I was learning with my phone.
And you're learning on your phone.
Yeah.
And so that would have been extremely difficult, but required you to be extremely disciplined to just persist, but continually persistent. Was it every day that you were learning that you didn't?
Yeah, I was learning it because, like I said, in the office, I just come to work. I barely do anything apart from it was a real estate company. I work as an office assistant. It's only when people call me on the phone I pick, or when somebody comes for documentation I give. Apart from this, I was just always alone in the office with the TV. And when I get back home, I do not have any TV, but I have my phone. So I watch the channel on the office TV when I'm at work. And when I get back home, I distract myself watching the same channel on my phone. And I was doing this for like the next 6 months, going to work, watching my YouTube like that. If there's anything he asked, like he wanted us to practicalize on, if it is something my phone can do, I try to do that. If it's something my phone cannot do, I try to research on how it is done, and I find a way to cram it. I'm very good at, like, I have a very retentive memory, so I'm very good at looking at people do stuff, and I feel like I've learned it, even though I have not experienced that myself. So when that was what helped me when I got to the interview.
And then to be selected, can you maybe share with me how you felt when you were walking into that interview process? There are 300 other people. How did you feel?
Yeah, first of all, I feel, one of the reasons why I am who I am today is the fact that I acknowledged the whole process as God preparing me for that particular time. Because when I got there, first of all, I studied literature in school. I'm not a science student. I didn't study computer science. I didn't study engineering. I studied literature, right? So my course of study is outside whatever that concerns IT. So when I got there, the people I met were those that have been working as technical support engineer. They study computer science, they study computer engineering, they have years of experience in the IT companies. And me, I'm just coming from a real estate company, and I just had 1 year of experience after school. But I was scared. However, it wasn't interview that people just talk. So we had like 5 stages of interview that they use because we had the 5 interview in a day, and they kept reducing the number until the last stage. So the first one was a written interview. We finished the interview and the results came out immediately. They selected the number that passed. The next one was typing interview. They gave us something to typing speed. We typed. They selected some persons again and move on to the next stage. The next stage was, should I say, I get to understand what that stage is much later, where they grouped us into smaller groups, like group of 4 to 7 individuals, and give us some materials, physical materials, like a map diagram. They gave us another thing that looks like locator, gave us matches, gave us stone. Yes, exactly. They gave us mirror. So they give us physical item and also give us like a written something, and ask us as a group that if you are selling to somewhere and somehow you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, how do you attract attention so that people can rescue you? And somebody was at the door. Like, they put us in different rooms, different spaces, different group, and give us this assignment and ask us to discuss among ourselves and come up with a solution, how you can be rescued. And one of the invigilators was just standing. She wasn't saying anything, but she was standing there watching everybody. And me, I love talking, and I just have this, leadership. What I don't know how to explain it, but wherever I find myself, I just unconsciously see myself assuming that I know something and I have to say something. So in my group, I was the most proactive. I was the one talking, giving them ideas. When we can use Miro, if there is sun, we can actually come out of the sun to use Miro to wave, to attract maybe people moving on. Let's assume people are flying. We can use Miro to try to get their attention, or in the night we can set up, since we have matches, we can use the matches to gather some dry wood or leaves and set fire. Maybe the smoke could also attract. Like, we're just having normal conversation. So some people, they were then listening to other people have conversation. But to me, I didn't know that the person standing was just watching those that's talking, probably to know how proactive or if they are team players. But at the end of the day, they just selected the few of us that were contributing to the discussion. And that was how they moved on to the next stage, which is now individual interviews. So they call you as an individual. You meet someone, they ask you some questions, your skill set, what you expect from the company, just normal usual interview routine this time. And after the whole interview, they just told everybody, okay, fine, we get back to you. And I think 3 weeks later, they called me on the phone. I was like, okay, you were shortlisted to among those that will be hired, or that they will send off a letter. And we started discussing the payment and all that. So that was how I got the job.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share as we embark on our mission to impact 1 million African lives by 2026.
This podcast is brought to you by Transformation Leader. You can follow us at www.t4leader.com.